Okay, so like I told y'all in the last video for AMI week 4, all of the rest of our videos are going to deal with solving quadratics. It's just which method are we going to use. And generally, and when I taught you this earlier in the year, I always try to tell you to do what it's ready for. You know, they're factorable already, or they're set up for difference of squares already. You know, if they're more geared toward one of the methods, do that. And so most of the ones that we're going to see today are going to be geared towards difference of squares. So let me show you what we're talking about here before I give you a few for your assignment. Let's say we had the quadratic that said 25x squared minus 36 is equal to 0, and we're told to solve. Okay? Well, you're noticing some things right off the bat. First off, this is in standard form. The b is just 0. ax squared, c, there's no bx, so your b is just 0. So that's one reason this is ready for difference of squares. Other reason, difference means it's a subtraction problem, which we got. And squares means they're both perfect squares. 25x squared, check. 36, check. Those are both perfect squares. So all you would do here to solve is factor this using difference of squares. And when we talked about difference of squares earlier in the year, we knew that in order to get that negative there, one of them had to be a positive and one of them had to be a negative. What times itself gets us 25x squared? 5x. Just did the square root of 25 and the square root of x squared. What times itself gets us 36? 6. Now, sure, there's another way to solve this. There's another couple ways to solve this, but this is the way we're doing it today. Now, where we are here, just like when we did with factoring, we set each of these equal to 0 and solve. So I'm going to have 5x plus 6 and 5x minus 6. I'm going to set both of those equal to 0 and solve. Okay? Now this is the process you're going to have to go through on your assignment. You're going to have to show these steps and then solve them out. Show your work. So here to get that x all by itself, my 6 is being added, so I'm going to subtract 6. So I got 5x is equal to negative 6. Let me scoot this a little bit. And then divide by 5. So that gets me x is negative 6/5. Over here my 6 is being subtracted, so I'm going to have to add it. So that gets me 5x equals 6. It's a funny looking 6. Then divide by 5. And that gets me x equals positive 6/5. So what I'm looking at here for possible solution, I can write fancy like and say x is positive negative 6/5. But don't forget we need to check that. Okay? So if we think about checking that, it's not as easy to check when it's fractions, but if we go here, let's see, x squared, that means you would have to square the top and bottom on that, so that would make 36 over 25. So the 25s will cancel out, so you just have 36 minus 36, which is 0. And then when you square a negative squared turns a positive, so that gets you the same thing. 36 minus 36 equals 0. So those both check out, so that's correct. Okay, so for your AMI Week 5 assignment, I again just have 4 problems for you. So this is AMI Week 5. We are using difference of squares to solve quadratics. Okay, so number 1 that I've picked out here for you says 9x squared minus 64 is equal to 0. Number 2 that I've got says 9x squared, I must like 9, minus 1 is equal to 0. Number 3 that I've got, x squared minus 81 is equal to 0. And the last one, x squared minus 1 is equal to 0. Alright, get those crack-a-lacking.